Good afternoon. I am Associate Provost Jill Bryant, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 Graduate Commencement Ceremony at Hamline University, held here at St. Paul River Center. As we begin our time together today, I'd like to invite Chaplain Nancy Victorin-Vangerud to give the invocation.
May I offer these words as we begin. Gracious God, giver of life, hope of life, in you we live and move and have our being. Here we are today gathered by the river, this beautiful river, sacred to the Dakota people, whose homeland we acknowledge. Like this river, we have run our course to this time and place. We have so much to celebrate. We have accomplished these degrees under conditions of struggle and perseverance. Yet with innovation and imagination, we have researched, analyzed, written curriculum and children's books, taught and created beauty. We have determined to keep showing up every day in the world to make a difference. For we are pipers. We do the good. And it is good, so very good, to be here with our families, our friends, faculty, staff, trustees, our leaders. The moment has arrived. So as our names are called, may we feel the dignity and grace. May we bless and honor all of our ancestors as we hear the call of future generations. We do not stand alone. Look at us here. We belong to one another, and we are grateful, so very grateful. So gracious God, in all your names, we pray that this day our hearts may be open to receive the full joy of this day. Amen. And please be seated.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize our current members of the Board of Trustees. Trustees, will you please stand? Thank you for being here. At Hamline, we are firmly committed to supporting those who are the first in their family to complete college. If you are a first-generation student graduating today, would you please stand and be recognized? We would like to recognize the graduates who are also veterans. Please stand and be recognized, not only for your achievement today, but for your service to our country. None at this ceremony. And last but certainly not least, please stand if you are a graduate. You can be seated. Now I would like to ask Ellen Waters, Vice Chair of our Board of Trustees, to bring greetings on their behalf.
Good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. I am pleased to be here in my official role as Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees of Hamline University. Welcome to this commencement ceremony, the last of 7, celebrating the class of 2021. You have come here after a lot of hard work, long hours of study, perhaps a job or two, and filling your time with other activities, being parents, maybe playing music, being artists, volunteers in public service in our community. But I hope you've also had some fun during your time, even during the pandemic. Whatever drew you to Hamline in the first place, this is your time to celebrate. It has not been made easier by the pandemic, but you persevered. You adapted, and you made it through to this day with the support of your peers, your faculty, your friends, and your families. Getting to graduation is a shared community journey. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Hamline University, I want to congratulate you on being here today. I hope that you will take your skills and your Hamline experience and make a great impact on the world. Thank you for the part you will play in the future with Hamline's values of service, compassion, leadership, and scholarship as your guiding principles. We are grateful for all that you have given us while you were here, and now we are excited to celebrate your achievements. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Fayneese Miller, President of Hamline University. I add my voice to all those you've heard and will continue to hear, congratulating you for your success. So congratulations, graduate class of 2021. Your road to this day was not nearly as straight as it should have been. From April 1st, 2020, after spring break, you returned to a learning environment that was unlike what you had come to expect from Hamline University. Yet from then to now, you prevailed. And we are delighted to celebrate you, your family, your accomplishments today. We are delighted to talk about your future, your expectations, your goals. Because we have no doubt that with a Hamline University degree, your future is bright. But you knew that when you chose to continue your education at Hamline University, when you chose to come here for your graduate degree. So we thank you for that. But we all know that, as the old African proverb goes, it takes a village. None of us have gotten to where we are alone. None of us have been able to do what we do alone, and neither have you. You've had the support of family, friends, professors, staff. All of these people have buoyed you, have supported you, have fed you, all those things to help you get to where you are today. So we thank them for what they've done. You know that when you needed a helping hand, a family member came through. Well, you needed someone to change that diaper because you just didn't have it in you to change another one. You were doing that assignment from one of your faculty members' classes. When you needed someone to wash the dishes, clean the house, or just hold your hand, it was the family member you turned to help you do that. Whether you were married, single, partnering, or whatever, someone helped you get to this day. And so I ask family members to please stand. Family, please stand. Although they are the ones graduating, you are too. You are too. Because it is your hard work, your diligence, your commitment that helped them get to this point. So thank you for being there for our students. Thank you for supporting them every step of the way. Thank you for being you. Thank you. We know, as you spent time at Hamline University this year, you were worried about your safety. You worried if you would be safe You worried if you would remain healthy. And you did. You did. You did all the things that you needed to do in order to stay safe. Some of you braved this pandemic and came to campus for an in-person class with your professor and your classmates. Some of you chose to study remotely. Whether you were in person or remote, it was still a challenge. You still worked hard. You still had to do all those things that you would have normally have done. And if you did your classes by Zoom, you know, one of the things that when you're on Zoom and you see someone zoning out, and you know why they've zoned out, because your kid just ran behind the screen. And we see them. And we're just watching them instead of listening to you. So we know that this was a challenge for you. And we thank you for sticking with us. We thank you for sticking to it. We thank you for having that goal in mind, that desire to get this degree, because that was part of your dream, part of your dream. You know, Langston Hughes, in his poem To You, talks about the power of hope and the power of dreams. And what he had to say in that poem is so real. Because if we dream about what's possible, we can accomplish what's possible. But what's so important that each of us have is the ability to dream. If you can dream, anything is possible. It's when you stop dreaming that problems arise. It's when you stop dreaming that you can no longer accomplish your goals. But you continue to dream. You continue to think about what's possible for you. And you're here today, and we're delighted to celebrate you. We know that things have been hard. We know that you've walked through a storm. And some of you probably know the song, "When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the road is a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on, though your dreams be tossed and turn. Walk on, walk on." So we say to you, through this pandemic, you walked on. You held your head high. You moved towards your goal. You set out to accomplish this, and you have. And you did this not only while there's been a pandemic, but you did this with all the turmoil swirling around us, all the things going on that we were trying to get a handle on. Our need to be a society, our need to be a nation that's something different than what it is. Our need for us to embrace each other and say that we all matter. Our need to say that, is this not my country too? All of that swirling around you as you're trying to get this degree. All of these distractions, but you held it together. You didn't let the distractions distract you. You still worked hard. You still studied hard. You still did all those things. As inside, you cried. You cried. Because if you are an educator, if you're in legal studies, if you're in business, any of these fields, if you're a writer, there's emotion, there's passion. These things mean something to you. These things are at the heart of who you are as a writer. So imagine how we all felt. Imagine what we all dealt with when we saw this nation becoming something that we never expected it to. We've taught you here at Hamline University to value another. We've taught you here at Hamline University to stand up. We've challenged you in the classroom. What we said to you in the classroom, it's okay to be uncomfortable. Because if you're uncomfortable, you are thinking critically. If you're uncomfortable, you're looking for answers. You're searching, you're reading, you're studying. You're doing all kinds of things to be able to respond to what's in front of you. You're learning. You're learning. So this moment that we are in, the experience that we are having, is a moment of uncomfortableness. It's a moment of uncertainty. It's all of those things. But you, our Hamline graduates, have handled it well. And we are so very, very proud of you. And we wish you all kinds of good luck. But I say to you, we need you. We need you for the work that you do. We need your minds. We need your passion. We need your love. We need you to do all the good you can. We need you to do all those things because we're depending on you to be a part of changing this world. We're depending on you to show up, to stand up, to be heard, to make sure your voice rings loud and clear. Make sure that those students in your classroom know what they need to do going forward. To make sure if you're in a law office that you understand and appreciate the notion of social justice and all that social justice entails. If you are at a bank, financial company, marketing, economics, whatever you're doing, never see those professions as devoid from the personal, because your faculty don't. They don't see those things as somehow separate from humanity, separate from the individual. Not here at Hamline University, they don't. So I celebrate them. And I'm going to say now, faculty, you're the heart and soul of this institution. Staff, you know we need you to do those things that the rest of us can't do. The rest of us don't know how to do. So we need you. The students needed you, and you stepped up. You stepped up. You did the job, but you always do the job. You turned on a dime, and you made sure that learning still occurred in all the ways in which learning needed to occur. And while all this was going on, our trustees were making sure that we stayed whole. Our trustees were pushing us to make sure that we not only survived, that we thrived. People worked hard on behalf of this institution. You worked hard on behalf of the institution. Because you know what? Your getting this degree makes us look good. So we appreciate what you're doing for us. Because when you go out there and you do this work, and Hamline University's name is attached to your name, we can pat ourselves on the back. Because you are doing well. And it's a testament to this institution when you do well. So we're very, 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 very proud of you in so many ways. We know there's uncertainty out there. We know we've got a long way to come. A long way to go. We know that. But I say to you, change is going to come. It's just around the corner because you're going to use those degrees for good. You're going to use those degrees to make sure change comes. That's what you're going to do. That's what we expect of every Hamline University graduate, regardless of your field of study, is to use those degrees for good, to bring about the positive change that we all need and expect. To say and to hold dear those words, we're all created equal, and we're all entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Getting your degree is a part of this happiness. Getting your degree is a part of life. Getting this degree is a part of liberty that is so dear to all of us. And we don't often talk about liberty. We talk about equality. We talk about freedom. We talk about all those other things. But we need to talk about liberty, because liberty is what sets us free. It's what sets us free. So I am delighted to be here. I'm delighted that you chose Hamline University. I'm delighted that you allowed us to talk about truth and what it means to be in an environment where truth matters. You allowed us to do that. You allowed us to have those conversations with you. And I'm now going to share with you the words of Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And you're a graduate student, so I don't need to tell you who Alexander Solzhenitsyn was. But an incredible writer, incredible thinker, incredible human being that was speaking out against injustice, speaking out against the fact that his liberty, and people like him, liberty, was denied. And he said, one word of truth outweighs the world. One word of truth outweighs the world. Hold truth dear. Hold truth high. Use the power of words. Use the power of your knowledge in the ways in which you know how to use it. Use it. Don't wait for someone else to do it for you. Don't wait for someone else to tell you how to do it. You know how. You know how. And I encourage you to use it. Because the hope of the world depends on you. And as Jane Baldwin says, the hope of the world lies in what one demands, not of others, but of oneself. Demand more of yourself. Expect more of yourself. And in a couple of years, those of you who are getting master's degrees, we expect to see you back here getting the doctorate. This isn't the end of the road for you. This is just one more step in that journey. Those of you who are getting the doctorate degree, this isn't the end of the road, because you got more work to do. You got more thinking to do. You got more doing to do. But what you've accomplished is amazing, especially during a pandemic. You getting these graduate degrees when you had all these other competing demands going on in your life. If you're a teacher, wondering, how am I going to reach my students? They're not in my classroom, but I still have to do this work. How am I going to do this? If you're working in the business world, you're working remotely, trying to figure out, how do I remain connected to my colleagues in the way in which I need to remain connected to my colleagues? If you're a writer, you got plenty of material to use to write. This pandemic has changed our lives, not necessarily for the worse. In some ways, it's changed our life for the better, because we've come to appreciate those with whom we interact. We've come to appreciate what we received. We come to realize that nothing is ever promised to us. We've come to realize how hard we must work and what we must cherish each and every day. I am so proud of you. We are so proud of you. Your professors are so proud of you. And I congratulate you for all that you have accomplished. And I leave you with the words of Maya Angelou, who said, "You may encounter defeat, but you must not be defeated." This pandemic did not defeat us. It did not defeat you. It did not stray you away from your goals. You stayed on track. Even though, as I said, that road was a little windy. It's very windy. But you stayed on track. You just followed that winding road to one stop in your journey. Because remember, there are more stops along the way. Stops, things that you will accomplish. I congratulate you. We congratulate you. Those of you who are getting the doctorate, welcome to the profession. Those of you who are getting the master's degrees, we're so proud of you taking that extra step to make sure that your mind remains vibrant, that knowledge is still there, that you can do the things that you need to do because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. I thank you for choosing Hamline University. We thank you for choosing Hamline University. And today, we celebrate you. Today, we congratulate you. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the degree of Master in the Study of Law in the College of Liberal Arts please rise? Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts from the School of Education please rise? President Miller, the faculty has recommended these students for the degree of Master of Arts and Master in the Study of Law, and the recommendation has been approved. It is my pleasure to present them to you and ask that you confer upon them their degrees. Candidates, you may be seated temporarily.
Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Nonprofit Management, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Science in Business Analytics from the School of Business please rise? President Miller, the faculty has recommended these students for the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Nonprofit Management, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Science in Business Analytics, and the recommendation has been approved. It is my pleasure to present them to you and ask that you confer upon them their degrees. Sorry about that. The first row of graduates, please come forward, and the rest of you may be seated.
Angela Claire Johnson Tangen, Doctorate in Public Administration. Margaret Jean Baird, Master of Arts in Literacy Education. Deanna Brown, Master of Business Administration. Jenna Lynn Healy, Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. Madeline Patricia Hohenscheid, Master of Arts in Education, Natural Science and Environmental Education. Samantha D. Jankin, Master of Arts in Teaching. Tamara Alyssa Johnson, Master of Arts in Teaching. Kelly Ann Jordal, Master of Arts in Literacy Education. Samantha Cho Carnes, Master of Arts in Teaching. Allison Lee Knutson, Master of Arts in English as a Second Language. Molly Jane Newman, Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages.
Quinn Thuy No, Master of Science in Business Analytics. Gianna Ruth Olson, Master of Public Administration. Julia Catherine Peterson, Master of Arts in Education, Natural Science and Environmental Education. Lexi Gabrielle Reed, Master of Arts in Teaching. Elizabeth M. Riley, Master of Arts in Literacy Education. Vladimir Fernando Siguenza, Master of Science in Business Analytics. Michelle Lynn Van Engen, Master of Nonprofit Management. Madison Rose Wire, Master of Arts in Education, Natural Science and Environmental Education. Clar Wilson, II, Master in the Study of Law. Megan Beth Wilson, Master of Arts in Teaching. Tamara Chavin Wolven, Master of Public Administration. Tang Chong, Master of Arts in Teaching. Hannah Renee Jacobson, Master of Arts in Teaching.
Will the candidates for the degree Master in the Study of Law in the College of Liberal Arts please rise? Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts from the School of Education please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the trustees of the Hamline University of Minnesota, and with the authority vested in me as president by the trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Masters of Arts, Master in the Study of Law, with all the rights, duties, and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. You may sit. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Nonprofit Management, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Science and Business Analytics from the School of Business please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty, with the approval of the trustees of the Hamline University of Minnesota, and with the authority vested in me as president by the trustees, I confer upon you the Doctor of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Nonprofit Management, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Science and Business Analytics, with all the rights, duties, and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Again, congratulations to each of you. Go out into the world and do good things. We leave you with the words of John Wesley. These are words that are very dear to Hamline University, words that you've heard many, many times, and we'd like to share them with you again. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Do all the good you can every single day. It matters more than you realize. I'm going to recognize two people now. Chaplain V, Associate Provost Jill Bryant. Chaplain Vivi is retiring in August, so this is her last commencement ceremony here at Hamline University. And we are honored and thrilled to have had her for as long as we have. And we thank you for your love of this institution. Associate Provost Bryant is not retiring. She has made a very poor decision, but we support her in her decision nonetheless. She has decided to return to her number one passion, and that's teaching. She misses her law students. She misses the classroom, and that is what she wants to do. That is where her heart is. But we know that her heart will always be here at Hamline University, and that she will be only a stone's throw away. And because we have the partnership between Hamline and Mitchell Hamline, we know that she will forever be a part of this community. And we thank her for all that she has done on behalf of this institution. Thank you, Jill. Will the audience please stand and remove your hats for the benediction? To our guests, please stay in place until the recessional is completed, and the ushers signal you to exit row by row. Now, Chaplain Nancy Victorin-Vangerud.
So now that we have been here, heard our name called, walked forward and across this stage, received the right of our accomplishments, we now go forth adorned with our new identities. Graduate, alum, author, doctor, teacher, yet still at heart a piper. Pipers belong together, so we go forward together with our knowledge and grit, with courage and humility, confidence and curiosity. Even though there is uncertainty and swirling winds of change, we will hold on to our cherished liberty, our dreams, and words of truth. We will hear the call to do and be the good for all people. Though the destination is not yet clear, we can trust the promise of this opening. May we unfurl ourselves into the grace of this beginning that is at one with our life's inspirations. We will take care of ourselves and be there for others. We will keep our spirits open to adventure. Soon we will home in new rhythms, for our hearts sense the world that awaits us. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you and give you peace. So go in peace. Amen.